At Your End Step is brought to you by Comic Town and BCW Supplies. Hello, and welcome to At Your End Step. My name is Morgan, and I'm here with Mike.
Hello.
And Dave.
Hi.
We have another fun-filled episode for you folks this week, so got a few things in the community segment. We have, some Commander stuff that's coming out, which we probably won't talk about, but we'll definitely let you know that it is getting, slowly announced. All the cards and all the spoilers are slowly coming out, so that's pretty exciting. And a very small update on what Magical Digital Next, the first product from that umbrella, might be and might look like. Or at least might be. We have no idea what it will look like, actually. And we have some competitive stuff that's going to be covered. We have GP Minneapolis, of course, and then the Syracuse Open that we're going to be discussing. And then kind of a fun, more lighthearted question of the week. So let's get started. So first and foremost, in community segment, if you may have been one of the lucky people to get your order in for the San Diego Comic-Con Planeswalkers early. This was something that was announced obviously before SDCC, and after the convention happens, they set a date to sell these things through their Hasbro toy shop, and that date was August 14th, which hasn't happened yet, but.
It hasn't?
There might have been a little bit of a snafu with that, where it went live a little bit early and got sold to some people. And as far as we know, at the time of recording, there hasn't been any cancellations or anything like that. It looks like Hasbro is going to, fulfill these orders. But that's crazy, man. I mean, I've been on the receiving end of a pre-release thing getting released a little bit early and then it getting canceled. Hashtag thanks Walmart for canceling my Super Nintendo Classic.
Hey, Nintendo said that they're actually going to open up real pre-orders for that.
Yeah, I'll believe
next month.
I believe when I see it.
I'm just saying, there's still hope.
Yeah. But so yeah, and again, if you haven't gotten your SDCC promos, you can get them hopefully if you're lucky on the 14th. Of August, which is next week. So keep your eye on the Hasbro Toy Shop website.
What's the price on those?
$180, I believe. Which is a little bit more expensive. Previously it's been $120, but you get the poster.
Yeah,
you get a 6th card.
They always sell out like so quickly.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
They're always worth way more than that, right? Like,
no, you'll be able to resell them for typically a higher price. Especially if you hold on to them. So let's say you want to keep the cards, but you could sell that poster still. The people want that.
Yeah, I want the poster.
Yeah, it's highly desirable. So
I don't care about the cards.
I do have to say I do own one of them. I actually I needed a third Chandra anyway, and so I got the SDCC Chandra. They look pretty sharp. I'm not gonna lie. So, but
I just want that picture. Like that's the sad thing. I don't care about the cards. Whatever. Like they're nice looking, but man, I do like that. Like a poster.
Yeah. All right. So we like we said, we did get a small update on Magic Digital Next and that umbrella. The first thing that they're kind of talking about, or at least we have a name for, is Magic Arena, I believe is what it's called.
Yes.
And that's kind of interesting. It's kind of a throwback. Obviously, people have seen like arena promos and stuff like that. So, using the name kind of like cashing in on some of that nostalgia for at least the naming purposes as far as that goes. But we just got a name, and that's pretty much it. And people are surmising that this could be the Duels replacement that we saw like a mock-up of a few months back. So this could be kind of what this is going to be turning into.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. We don't get anything else until HasCon. I really don't think it's really worth speculating.
Yeah, that's all we got. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll reveal the rest at HasCon. Okay, cool. There's another date to announce a date thing that Wizards likes to do, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's Magic the Gathering Arena, but they use the Planeswalker symbol, which is kind of interesting because we didn't know there would be Planeswalkers in it. I guess that's confirmed. I'm just saying it's using the Jace Beleren font, which is like, their kind of font. So
it
like,
must be a Jace. So
Yeah, clearly.
I don't. Yeah, Hascon will let us know. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to ignore this.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And then lastly, like I said, we are getting Commander spoilers, so you can definitely see some of those there. Some cool stuff. I know, Dave, typically you keep an eye out for the new uncommons or commons, theoretically, to see if there's any new stuff you can slide into your cube. Mm-hmm. And so far, there's been like maybe one card.
I mean, we've seen them pretty much
maybe.
all rares and mythics so far, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they usually start with the heavy hitters to get people excited and then kind of go from there. But I'd say the Cat Jack shaping up pretty well. I like it so far. Lots of good cats.
Surprise appearance by Miri.
Yeah, Miri.
That's a random one. We haven't seen her
showing up on the dueling grounds, as it were.
I think last time we saw her, she was a vampire.
That's true. She was.
Yeah, what's the continuity?
But she got
on that?
better.
No. So she was in the alternate universe of that was a Planar Chaos.
Oh,
She
right.
was
Okay.
bitten, not Kovacs. Because remember, Kovacs the cursed is the vampire.
Yeah.
So she
Okay,
became Miri
gotcha.
the cursed.
Yeah.
Alternate timelines.
Yep.
So, but and
Yeah.
your dragon, the dragon,
The
the
dragon.
you are a dragon, also looks pretty sweet. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. No
So-
joke.
I feel
But
like they already had that card before.
No, they have the scion of the
Oh.
you are dragon.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey guys, just so you know, the you are dragon's coming. IRL, the you are
the
dragon.
You Are Dragon is here. But we haven't really got much from like the vampire set yet. It's mainly been dragons and cats.
Well, they've been doing it each day. They had Cat
Yeah.
Day and then Dragon Day, and then we're gonna get Vampire Day and we're gonna get Wizard Day,
Yep. And then something
and then
else.
Borgish Smorg.
Yeah.
I know I said that word wrong. I said it purposely wrong. That is an inside joke with not even the people on this cast, and I don't know why I would say it like that, but it's stuck in my head.
Well, there you
So,
go. A little deep dive into
Yeah,
Mike.
sorry.
Anyway.
I certainly didn't get it. So
No, you wouldn't. Again, this is
Yeah.
not. I do not know why
I don't
I
think
said
anybody
that.
got it.
Here.
This is not the time or place, apparently.
Yeah.
But it looks like this could be a pretty cool turn for them to kind of make with the commander sets. So I'm glad they're doing it. They're kind of pushing the boundaries and doing something a little bit different than just like X colors or something like that. So I'm excited. We'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it for the community segment. Before we jump into competitive, I do want to give a shout out to Comic Town, one of our lovely sponsors. They have released some more dates for their Comic Town Classic series, so if you want to check out some of the future events, definitely look them up on Facebook, and you can do so by searching Comic Town Gaming Center on there. Some of the ones that are coming up are going to be the Legacy Expo, which is going to be on September 30th, and then on October 28th, there's a 2K Fall Classic, which will be standard. And then on November 18th, there's going to be a 1K Sealed Expo. And it will be with Ixalan, of course, because that will be the set that is out at that point. The newest set that's out at that point in time. And then, of course, the 5K Invitational is going to be on December 9th. So there you go. We got the pathway to the invitational final there at the end. So
it's closer than I even thought.
Yeah,
it's like that's 4
it's
months
closer than you
away.
think, yeah.
Like the actual invitational.
So you definitely have to jump on it and try to do your best to get queued. So
yeah, looking at you guys.
Yeah, I need to. I haven't got
I
to play
already-
in pretty
already
many
did my
events,
part.
So.
So I don't think we're going to get queued for this. I'm not going to play Legacy. I'm going to be out of town for the Fall Classic. So it's either going to be the sealed or if there's any last chance for me at this point in time.
Just play Legacy, man.
No.
Yeah, I'm
Why?
probably going to play to queue. I'm probably going to play Legacy to queue.
I don't
So
have a Legacy
Just
deck.
play Burn.
you could figure it out.
Yeah, I don't have a Legacy.
You
deck.
could figure it out.
What if
yeah,
I,
you
what
could
if I
figure it
don't really want to?
Then that's fine. But just be like, sometimes you have to suck it up and play bad formats too. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, sick burn. Wow. Hey, Legacy format. Would you like me to call an ambulance for you?
My opinion matters to them.
I mean, probably not. It doesn't cost like over $1,000. So, but anyway, let's talk about formats that are relevant.
Boom roasted.
So we're gonna jump into the GP first. It was GP Minneapolis. It was standard. and it was won by Steve Luck, playing Mono Black Zombies, which a deck that I'm a fan of. Dave seems to think is going to die soon.
Dave suggested it wasn't very good.
I've come around on that. I didn't know. Well, I didn't realize how good of a matchup it had against Red, so it makes sense.
Yes,
and not only did it win the tournament, but it put quite a few people into the top 32. Just looking at the overall breakdown here, so it looks like Mono Black Zombies was definitely the call for this weekend. So.
Yeah, you have. You have a lot of interaction. You're the deck that can get away with playing both Grasp and Fatal Push in, copious amounts. You are an aggro strategy. You're an aggro deck that can attack at a different angle, so that you aren't just folding to the other decks that are going to be there playing and trying to beat Red. And you have a pretty good matchup against like Green Black Constrictor and stuff like that. So
yeah. And it looks like Steve adopted the main deck Kalidas that we've been seeing a lot of, which makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably the standard going forward.
Yeah, it's pretty good against Red. But honestly, just pretty good in the format in general, I think, right now. So, yeah. I mean, there's nothing too crazy going on here with his list. Yeah.
I mean, I will say moving entirely away from, I know it's kind of moving entirely away from things like Westvale Abbey is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing 2 Scavenger Grounds as, I guess, extra deserts for the Ifnir Dreadlands, or just extra Graveyard Hate.
And like the deck, you have like a weakness to things like Game 1 against like the God Pharaohs deck, which
is that still a thing?
It had some steam, and like obviously it's not going to be there in plentiful amounts, but it is sort of a hedging your bets. Like Game 1, you don't really do anything. If you just let them do what they do, then they're probably going to win. Like you don't have a fast enough clock to really threaten them, and their late game is far better than anything you can really be doing.
That makes sense. I mean, I wonder how often the Westvale Abbey actually gets activated anyway.
I mean, I've just been playing F&M, and I don't think I've ever actually activated it once.
Yeah. So you have to ask yourself, like, is it actually worth it?
Like either activation of it, like make a dude or flip it.
No, and that's not surprising. I just think it is interesting to like that's how good these deserts are. Like Westvale Abbey is. I mean, Westvale Abbey is a very, regardless of how many times you personally have activated it. Like,
sure.
It is the kind of card that your opponent immediately has to respect the possible like plan for. And like these cards are, in the format better at the moment. So I thought it was interesting.
I think so too.
Yeah, I also think like if Red is going to be the most played deck, like are you even going to have the time to really set that up?
I think that's actually a tough question to answer because the answer is against zombies. Quite possibly.
Maybe? Yeah.
Like, it depends on how you're boarding. It depends on which version of mono red it is. But, like, if you're playing, like, something like PV sideboard, yeah, quite possibly. Okay. So, just thought.
Okay.
In the finals, we do see Steve did beat a Black-Green Constrictor list piloted by Corey Baumeister. And the rest of top 8 shapes up with Ray Huang playing Martyr Vehicles. Matt... that man has a lot of K's in his name. Skink.
Yeah, I think so.
Skink. Johnson.
You could have just said Matt Johnson. You could have just said Matt Johnson.
No, his full name's there, man. You got to respect that. All right. We
did that last week.
He top 4 to GP. I understand. We're trying to make up for our errors, for our horrendous ways last week. We have Martyr Vehicles again, piloted by Robert Castro. Then Black Green Constrictor, piloted by both Brad Nelson and Daniel Weiser. And then rounding out top 8 was Red Black Midrange, piloted by Nathaniel Lothamer. So again, we see the standard tournament. We do have a couple things here kind of show up repeatedly, but we still have Martyr Red not Martyr Red. That doesn't make any sense. Ramen Up Red. Still showing up. Martyr Vehicles kind of showing up a little bit. Green Black Constrictor having a pretty good weekend. And then like a new deck, sort of, kind of.
I mean, honestly, you talk about the red deck. and it kind of did what you would expect. Like the week after a red deck wins a big tournament, people are going to bring the hate.
Yeah.
Are people going to be prepared? And we had 2 in the top 32 here. So not really the same numbers that we saw at the Pro Tour. It was pretty dominant. But it's nice to have a standard format where like you have a best deck one week, and then look, people can actually adjust.
Yeah, and make
It's not
changes
just
and,
like it's not just, hey, even more Marvel decks the next week. You know?
Yeah, because with the Marvel decks, it really felt like this is the best thing you can be doing. Why are you doing other things? Why are you trying to like play a deck that is trying to play this interactive game when I can have you dead by turn 4? And not saying that the mono red deck can't do that. But it is far easier to play an interactive deck or try to play a different access than it is and to beat it. It's not mono red is not necessarily new. Collectively,
it's new for this format.
It's new for this format,
Yeah.
but like the ways to beat it, like are. I don't know, like they're
Classic.
they're timeless. Like
Yeah.
it's always the same thing. You just have to have that in mind when you're going into a tournament, and if you do, then you'll probably be able to adjust and be fine. But Marvel you didn't have that. It was just like you just play Marvel. Like why? Why would you do anything else?
Yeah, no,
Because like you could like there wasn't some secret. There wasn't like a traditional way to like combat it. It was just. It played both games A and B in the deck, pretty well. And if you had sideboard cards against its A game, then it would just beat you with its B game. So like, Mono Red has an A game, and it's a really good A game, and it does have a kind of a B game, but it's not as strong as the A. So
yeah. Now you could argue that this format isn't as exciting as maybe we thought it was. I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, before the Pro Tour happened. Where like seemed like a new deck was popping up every week. We see for the most part here, if you're just looking at the top 32 of the GP, you have a lot of mono black zombies, a couple red decks, a lot of black green constructor. I think those are going to be like your top 3. You had a couple Mardu vehicles in there, then couple weird ones.
Yeah, I was looking at a couple of the weird ones. Kind of interesting.
You have Jonathan Job showing up, still wanting to play Eldrazi, just switching colors from mono red to mono white.
Yeah, he went 9-0 on day 1.
Yeah.
This is kind of... We've seen decks like this before, like the big white deck.
I mean, it was at the PT as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those decks that sort of snuck through into the higher ranked list that wasn't what we were red essentially.
Just all red or zombies, yeah.
And then you had, in similar fashion, another player that wanted to play Eldrazi, Chris Bathello, playing mono black.
Goldfish calls this Eldrazi vampires, and I was like, why is that? And then I was like, Drana.
Yeah, it's playing Kalidas and Drana.
So Gifted Aetherborn is also.
Oh yeah,
But,
that card's great.
Drana, man.
First strike.
Yeah.
First strike's pretty good.
Yeah, Chris is he's known for playing the brew. If you might remember, he top aided with the Cat Pact deck back when Demonic Pact was still in
Big
standard.
fan of this guy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So he barely missed here. I believe he finished 9th here, but still a pretty good showing. And we have seen some of these like black Eldrazi decks come up. I know I've seen a couple of them online. So it wasn't an entirely new idea, but this is the first one I've seen that's playing like Drana and like main deck Gifted Aetherborns and stuff like that, which makes sense.
I mean, the main deck Gifted Aetherborn was fairly popular this weekend. Also, the red black sort of control deck, the top aided, also was on that plan. But they're really good with Kalidas because like they deserve their own removal spell. And then like when Abrade is the most common one, if you get Kalidas online, well, it's like, well, if you Abrade this, then like you better do it when you can't sack it to Kalidas. So that's not cool. So yeah, Kalidas is surprisingly tough to kill in this format. Just like again, like as it shifts, like it's hard to fatal push it. Like you have to work to fatal push it. Grasp does work, but Abrade being like the most common removal spell.
Well, it wasn't this weekend, as it turns out.
No, sure.
Man, How many red players are just like my kingdom for a roast?
Oh my gosh, stop it!
I won't even say flame slash because that would be like you're.
I mean, you have cut if you want to.
You do have cut, but
and Chandra is the easiest way to kill it.
of course.
Maybe we see more cuts getting played going forward. Maybe that's obviously, like we talked about, Cletus has crept up into these zombie decks, and maybe killing 4 toughness is what you need in this format.
Yeah, even at sorcery speed, maybe that's just where you need to be.
So
it could very well be the case. So. But it seems like we do see a lot of mono black zombies. So now we see the metagame shift. Maybe people have to keep their eye out for that deck as well. And with these 2 aggressive lists kind of being where it's at, maybe we see something that just goes a little bit bigger and a little bit slower and can still hold its ground and kind of come through. And I think that's what people were trying to do with the Black Green Constrictor list this weekend, because it's definitely more of a mid-range kind of game that you're playing, and that deck still did fairly well. And the nice thing about it is a lot of the stuff in that deck is still going to be around post rotation. There is some like I think your mana base gets a little worse because you use a creature land, which is big. We're not going to try to sell you short on that, but. A lot of the core still, exists. You still have Constrictor, you still have Rishkar, you still have Gear Hulks and stuff like that, and Walking Ballista even. So, it could be a deck that remains pretty good even after rotation. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see for sure. The loss of Hiss and Quagmire is big, but also Grasp of Darkness is a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the deck is pretty much consistently there. Now, we said the same thing for Tame Your Energy, and that deck's sort of fallen off in the wake of Red.
I think that's certainly a weird thing. I still think Tame Your Energy is good, but I think it has a hard time beating I think it has a hard time beating both zombies and mono red at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
We did have a standard Mox over the weekend as well. I'm trying to find the results on that, but you can proceed. We had another deck that I put on there. If you guys want to talk about Dan Ward's blue-white deck.
Yeah, sure. So blue-white has. I was talking to you before the show about some versions of blue-white gaining a little bit more prominence, Morgan.
Yeah.
And this is a version of it that I've actually seen a bunch on Magic Online this last week, which seems to be all right, Red, take this, I guess. Your blue-white Approach to the Second Sun. Playing Unsummon, 4 Blessed Alliance, 4 Censor, 4 Supreme Will, 4 Glimmer of Genius, 3 Hieroglyphic Illumination, 4 Fumigate, 3 Approach to the Second Sun, 4 Ether Meltdown, and 3 Cast Out lands. It's also playing Regal Caracal on the board.
Yeah.
Which, man, that's a good one against Red. It is. But this deck is just trying to do whatever it has to do to stay alive until it can cast Fumigate, and then from there play Approach. And honestly, the way that those Red decks do, they have a lot of resilience and a lot of late game with the Kenras and everything, but they really do struggle sometimes with a lot of life gain. And something like, playing 4 Censor, you can interact with their early drops, and then if you get to Blessed Alliance on 4 and make them sack a guy and gain 4 life, it really is tough to get the tempo back from that. And then, or if you're going to Fumigate, you can really buy a lot of time with this deck.
How about the 4 Authority of the consoles in the sideboard?
Yeah,
I mean, that does work against all these haste creatures.
Yeah, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, at least 16 haste creatures. If they're playing all the way down, if they have 4 Village Messengers, Bomat Courier, Kenras, and Crashers. And possibly Glorybringer. So at least 16. And then, so that card on turn 1 is tough. So I don't think that these decks are good, though, in general.
I mean, that's possible, but it looks like it was a good call for this weekend.
No, don't get me wrong, but I think this is selling out super hard to beat Red.
Yeah.
And you saw the format already sort of go back to it, but I've played against this a number of times now, and I don't know. I was surprised to see it this weekend because I was literally joking about it with Morgan because I'm I don't think this deck does anything. But
it seems like it should be decent against zombies, right? I mean, you have a bunch of sweepers, and you have things like Descend Upon the Sinful in the sideboard that exiles.
Sure.
Right?
Well, it exiles if you have.
Just exiles.
Oh no, it exiles in general. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
It's an angel.
So Maybe that's a thing. I don't know.
It's possible. Like maybe I'm selling this deck short, but we've seen a lot of versions of Approach to the Second Sun, and trust me, I love when that card is like doing well. But it seems like you're selling out really, really hard to like beat decks that like this weekend you didn't see, like obviously Zombies won, but you didn't, like Red was not anywhere near the numbers it was before. So
I still think it was they didn't have a breakdown on the decks on the meta game, but I would assume the Red was the most played deck.
It probably was the most played deck.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if this deck sticks around going forward. Like, is this deck as a control deck? Is it better than blue red control in general? I don't think it is. I mean, but it's better against the red deck than blue red control.
It definitely looks like a metagame deck, but it may have some legs in the format just because the format seems to be all about small creatures and flooding the board. So, I mean, this definitely has a ton of sweepers and can get to that late game and start casting a Approach to the Second Sun. So
for sure.
I pulled up the results of the mocks, and we don't have to go in depth in this, but I just want to point out that there may be more to the format than what this GP particularly shows. So, for example, we had a red-green ramp deck that went 8-0 at the mocks, and then there were two, just mentioned Teamer Energy, there were two 7-1 Teamer Energy lists that were very similar, actually, to what we played at the Star City Invitational. That's really not much difference there from what we played a month ago, a little over a month ago. So, I mean that deck's still competitive at least.
This red green ramp deck is wild. By the way, it's playing one of Neheb the Eternal.
Yeah,
as a ramp spell. It has 4 Weirding Wood and 1 Gift of Paradise. They seem to be going away from any sort of creature-based mana accelerate and just going into enchantments, pretty much. It's still finishing the game with World Breakers, Ulamogs, and Chandra Flamecallers. So it's pretty crazy, I think. So if you want to play a sort of a different ramp deck, definitely take a look at the Standard Mox tournament.
And before we're off talking about standard lists, I just want to give a shout out to the black-red control deck, the black-red mid-range deck by Nathan Lothamer in the top 8 there. He definitely had 1 Scorpion God. So is that our first Hour of Devastation God with a high profile top 8? I think so. I don't think I know that blue black zombies was getting some press, but I don't know if it ever did particularly well outside of in a paper tournament. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, we're kind of in the waning days of this current standard. We're going just after the Pro Tour, and then everything is sort of downhill from here. And I always feel like around this time we even have less standard tournaments anyway.
Yeah, I guess that's a reason for them changing the way that they're doing the Pro Tours and having the timing of the Pro Tours, because if having the Pro Tours later in the season, you won't feel that way.
Right.
Because I feel like prior to the Pro Tour, we kind of felt like, oh wow, this format feels really wide open. And it's not that. I mean, it's definitely shrunk down as we only have maybe a handful of decks that are viable or tier 1 at this point.
Right.
There's a little bit of innovation still, but yeah, I think you're right in the fact that it's kind of there aren't really a lot of big events coming up. I mean, we have RPTQs this weekend, but I think that's it
before we start really getting into Ixalan.
Yeah. So it's kind of just.
I'm glad to see where Standard is post Pro Tour. This last Pro Tour was exciting. There was a lot of red, but I'm just so ready for this rotation.
I think we have reached
Eldrazi overload.
Yeah, every time I see Eldrazi, every time I see a Gideon, I just can't. I just can't.
We've reached the maximum amount of time that I can be okay with Battle for Zendikar block. It's just it's left such a dissatisfaction inside of me that I'm perfectly okay with saying goodbye to Shadows block as well, even though I think that is a deep crime that WotC has committed to Shadows block that it never got to escape the shadows at all.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I think, like, especially for me, I'm not a fan of the Eldrazi as just.
You don't like the Eldrazi, like, big
I did play an Eldrazi deck on the Modern tournament this last weekend, but that being said, I just don't like them. I just don't like, I don't know, the flavor of them, whatever.
I don't want to taste one.
Yeah, I don't
Not a big fan of calamari? Oh,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, they've been in standard forever. I'm ready for them. Just be gone forever. I don't want to see them anymore.
Yeah, it'd probably be really chewy.
Not really. They look crunchy.
Depends on the one.
I guess it's true.
I think they're crunchy on the outside, chewy on the
shaper
inside.
tastes like whatever you want it to taste like.
It's true.
That's the best part. You're like, cotton candy? Yeah.
Is that like one of those like Willy Wonka
Steak,
candies?
yeah.
So it's like, a
Yes.
million different flavors.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an everlasting gob reshaper.
All right. So let's shift gears into Modern. So we had the Star City Games Syracuse Open. And it was won by an Ohio native. Dan Musser wins the tournament, taking it down with Eldrazi Tron, or as he lovingly called it the entire weekend, Todd Drazi Tron. And defeating another Eldrazi Tron player in the finals, Jeffrey White. So this deck, I've played with this deck, and this deck can definitely be, pretty powerful. But I just don't it is one of the great mysteries to me, because I never really felt like this deck was like the best thing you could be doing in Modern, and here we are.
It's also like supposed to have like a really good Grixis Death Shadow matchup, but like Grixis Death Shadow wasn't even the best. Like that was one of the arguments that Todd Stevens had when it was first coming back to prominence. But that deck was not even the most played deck this weekend. Didn't put up very many good finishes this weekend. So had a top 8. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know if I buy that. It's. I think it's pretty close.
I'm just telling you the reasoning for why it was originally being pushed.
Sure. Yeah.
Chalice is fairly good against that Shadow. That's hard to argue with. But
So we also had a Merfolk list in the top 4, piloted by Daniel Doofy. And then Just Kind of Control in 4th place, piloted by Jonathan Rossum. Man, he just keeps showing up.
Yeah, this is second second straight
Are you
individual.
Wait, hold on. No, you guys are cracking pretty bad. What are you laughing at?
is that actually you pronounce his last name?
Doofy or Duffy?
Pretty sure
Pretty
it's
sure that's
Duffy.
Duffy, but
Oh well.
Doofy is
It's Officer Doofy.
Yeah, he's the guy from the Scary
We're
Movie.
sorry, Daniel. We're not making fun of you.
Oh,
We're not making fun of you, Daniel.
Just
We're making fun of
in
Morgan.
his top 8 profile, he was asking like, "Do you want to smell my finger?" I was just like, "Yeah, that's fine," because I don't know how you, unless I'm crazy, I don't know how you look at that and think like Doofy.
I don't know. Just doing it for the lulz, I guess. Sorry, Mr. Duffy. My bad. It's egg on my face.
No, Jonathan Rossum. So his second straight individual Open top 8 here, and this time in Modern with Jeskai Control. I don't really know if I would call this a control deck. It's kind of like Jeskai midrange.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's kind of the Spellcaller version that we've seen.
And then we have Kieran McKenzie with Affinity in 5th. Grixis Death Shadow, piloted by Daniel Jessup in 6th. And then 2 Blue-Red Gifts Storm decks in 7th and 8th. One, unsurprisingly, piloted by Caleb Shearer, and the other one piloted by Ryan Dunn.
And the man has a Storm counter.
Yeah.
Caleb Shearer, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
He's going to play Storm.
This is what he does for a tournament. Can I play Storm in this? Yes or no, and then he has a flowchart. If it's yes, then I'm playing Storm. If it's no, then I must be playing Standard. So, we have Slivers showing up, 13th place.
Meox.
Paul Conlon, shout out to you. But just like a fair amount of interesting decks kind of showing up. We talked a lot about Grixis Death Shadow. That's kind of been the deck du jour for some time. But it seems to be people are still kind of adjusting. We have a Eldrazi taxes list right under the slivers list, which is like a more of a mesh of the just mono white taxes with the black white Eldrazi list.
Yeah, the Eldrazi and taxes list have been putting up consistent results on Magic Online as well. There's always one popping up. You see like one like every other day. I mean, they're obviously not posting as many deck lists, but it seems like it's consistently showing up in the 5.0 list. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like an Eldrazi and taxes list, break through to a top 8 fairly soon.
Yep.
Or even win a tournament.
Rounding out top 16, we have Jim Davis playing Tron. So shout out to Jessup and Davis doing pretty well, representing Metagame Gurus.
So he was playing Black Green Tron? Yeah. So mono green. Oh, okay. I was going to say mono green main deck, but he has Fatal Pushes in the main.
Yeah.
He has Collective Brutalities and one Thoughtseize in the sideboard.
And then Dredge, piloted by Connor Bowman, friend of the show. Usually see him around tournaments around here quite often. Very good at Magic.
Playing Dredge pretty well.
Yep.
Beat me playing Dredge at the Invitational. And Billy Mitchell.
Yeah.
Billy from Philly.
Billy from Philly. What was he playing?
Counters Company.
Yeah, that actually was the next deck I was going to mention. Definitely showing up. Still being a very, very popular deck in Modern.
All right, real quick, don't look. What colors is Counters Company? What colors does that deck play?
It's probably 4-color. Let's be honest. It's not red.
Right, but the list we've seen is typically Abzan colors.
There's been a lot
correct?
of Bant though recently.
But are they still calling that Counters Company, or are they
Yes.
calling that Bant Knight?
No, it depends on if it has the combo or not.
I just hate the name Counters Company. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. But
you know what?
I think it's to just be Abzan Company and then Bant Knight or Bant Company, if that's what it is. But yeah, this is a Bant color deck. So
Just go ahead, write General Mills or whatever company. It doesn't really matter who it is; they weren't going to listen to you. So the Kraft company, I don't know, write them, complain.
It's definitely Craft.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. I like they have no control over this just as much as anyone else doesn't. So just go ahead and write the Ford Motor Company and tell them. Nobody cares.
We actually have two decks we kind of haven't seen in a while. I feel like we haven't seen in a while, if that's actually true. But Ad Nauseam and Amulet Titan, showing up in the top 32.
AKA the worst combo deck right now. To Gift Storm, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think if you're gonna play combo, I think Gift Storm is definitely your best bet here.
Yeah, but you can't cast a Primeval Titan in Gift Storm.
I mean, you could play Escape Shift, which is better.
Lost but Seeking. Gift Storm.
Why would you want to play that card?
I don't know. I'm trying to find the redeeming factors here, man. Some people just want to play Asusa Lost but Seeking.
No, I understand. People that in the heyday of Amulet Titan when it was good. Obviously it was a really good deck and required a banning to take it down. It's just let it go. Card. Just let it go. I'm not playing Delver anymore. Just let it go, man. Just play Escape Shift if you're going to play a Titan deck.
You can't force people out of their homes in Modern, man.
I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. I'm just saying. Congrats to the top 32. But,
I mean, this person playing Slivers got 13th. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah,
it's just Modern. Just do what you want, and you might have success.
I'm just saying, it's a very similar style of deck that is, in my opinion, way better, but people still choose to play the worst version of it.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe it is similar. I guess in my head,
they're both Primeval Titan decks.
Yeah, but I mean, one, I don't know, is more flashy.
I mean, I personally wouldn't play either of them, but I'm just saying, I think Escape Shift is overall better. But
you just hate
we can
Magic color green. So
that's true. That's true. I don't play green cards.
You guys stop talking about this yet? No, still okay. I'm gonna check out again.
Okay, cool. No, we're done. But that was kind of what the Modern Open looked like. Again, hey, this is our weekly check-in with WotC. Don't mess with this format. I understand you're bringing back to the Pro Tour. Hands off.
Okay, we got one more deck to talk about.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
The Vengevine deck.
Oh, the Vengevine deck.
We can't we can't talk about the Open and not talk about the Vengevine deck. 'Cause I feel like the Vengevine deck took the internet by storm, but it's not storm. It's graveyard based. So this was a list piloted by Julian Grace Martin. He didn't finish in the top 32, but I believe he finished 35th. So just outside of top 32 here. But he did a deck tech, so you can find his list. He will talk about the list there. But this is a deck that was on camera, I believe, around 9. He was 8-1 or 7-1 at that point. Mm-hmm. And this is a deck that runs a Vengevine, Hollow one. Ways to discard. Obviously, you want to get those Vengevines.
I want to play this deck right now.
Oh yeah, it's sweet. So it plays Faithless Looting and Cathartic Reunion and Insolent Neonate as ways to pitch your Vengevines into the graveyard, and while also reducing the cost of Hollow One. This deck can do some disgusting things. I think he had turn 2, 14 power on one of these games. So that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's an aggressive deck at its core. You know, you're running things like Goblin Guides and Monastery Swift Spears to kind of maximize your damage with what you can do. If you want to learn more about the deck, there is a deck tech that he does, talk about some of the, interesting things. Like, he even stated that he started the build of this deck with a Flame Blade Adept, but like it was something where he couldn't really. It was something where you certain turns you would have one extra mana, and you just you needed a way to still eke out some damage. And Flameblade Adept just wasn't what you wanted, but you wanted hasty, something that could get in there and attack, and that's why we see the 2 hasty 1-drops there.
Yeah. And this deck also runs the Temur Battle Rage Become Immense combo.
Yes, correct.
So it definitely
and
has.
It's a deck that can can really do it, can really pull it off, and not need the help of Gataxian Probe.
Right, it is playing Street Wraith.
It's playing Domri raiding the board.
Yeah, I know this deck is it's the bee's knees.
Oh, I need to get. Do you have Vengevines, Dave?
No.
All right,
people ask me that over the weekend at the Modern IQ that I played in on Sunday, and I'm like, I have never actually owned a Vengevine. I'm like, that card is green.
No, I figured out don't have green cards. Mission.
Oh yeah, I've never owned a Vengevine, which is sad.
Yeah, me neither. Actually,
sad. I don't know. It's never happened.
When they were in Standard, it was one of those. It was the same thing as like Relentless Dead in Standard, where it's like a $20 card for no reason. Like, it was okay when it was in Standard, but it wasn't this card that you just needed. It was like a staple of the format. Anyway, but yeah, this deck is sweet. I saw a ton of people streaming with it after the list got posted. So I think everybody's trying to figure out, is this for real? Is this a flash in the pan, or is this something that you need to be wary of when your next Modern tournament? I'm not really sure. Obviously, it's still pretty new, I would say, but props to Julian for coming up with a sweet deck.
It's interesting. It's new. It's exciting. And people always get this way when something different shows up. So
it's the same thing as a Cheerios deck. When that showed up,
yeah, exactly.
And it was just and then it was you just play Fatal Push and they can't win. Oh, okay.
It does feel
still pretty sweet though.
Yeah, I feel this deck is a little bit more resilient, and I mean you still have cards like Rest in Peace that exist within the format, which might be a little bit awkward, but
it doesn't kill this deck though.
No,
I mean, you could just cast a Vengevine and attack.
You also could just cast a bunch of hollow ones on the same turn, which sounds sweet to me.
Yeah.
No, this deck definitely doesn't get hosed, I would say, by Graveyard Hate. It definitely slows it down, maybe. It's this has potential to put Vengevines into play on turn 2. So I mean, if you're on the draw and you're relying on Rest in Peace, that might not even be good enough.
Right.
Yeah, sure, you turn off their Become Immenses, but that's just one of the angles that it has. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see going forward if this is something that's for real, and we'll see if this is maybe something that evolves. Mm-hmm. I know Caleb Jarrett was messing around with it, and he put some Death Shadows in it because why not? It's already got Street Wraith, so I don't know if that's good, but something you might see.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, hopefully this doesn't where people get a hold of it and they're like, why aren't you just playing Tarmogoyfs? And then they just like slap 4 Tarmogoyfs in there. Like, hopefully that doesn't happen. I think something that's exciting about this deck is it's a green deck that isn't playing Tarmogoyfs, and people like that a lot typically. So we'll see if that happens
Like,
or not.
Not playing good cards.
Well, you're not playing expensive cards necessarily.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so some of the cards in there are still very expensive, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, we'll see. We'll keep on it. We'll see if this shows up anywhere else, and report back.
I really want to play this deck.
You keep reaching for the stars, man.
This is exciting.
It is very exciting. I don't disagree with you, but next up we have the Modern Classic to continue on the Modern train, and it was won by Dan Benipoyo, playing Scapeshift.
Oh, Scapeshift, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Is this a no? Okay, this is red green.
Were there any Amulet Titan decks in that top 16?
I don't know. Man.
Oh, I don't see any. Okay.
Yeah, because you have to get to the top 32. What does this represent? What does
How
this
in the
prove?
world is that an effective metric of anything?
I'm just being stupid. Come on.
Oy, oy.
He did beat Burn, piloted by Miles Horsman. And we had Affinity.
Where is the R in his name?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hoosman. I'm just getting last names messed up. My bad. I don't know where the R is his name. I don't know. I can't read.
Aw.
I have a problem. It's not a laughing matter. But I can't read. I'm just dumb. I apologize.
I don't know that.
That is a laughing matter. You can laugh at my stupidity.
You berated yourself enough that I no longer feel good about it. So,
The plan's working. And then we have Stephanie. Now I'm scared. Now I'm going to spell them out in my head.
I would guess that's Shelble.
Yeah, Shovel. Paying.
I was waiting for you to pronounce the 4th place name.
That guy's name is awesome.
I thought you were like Enzadzilla. It's Zadzilka, but
It is Zadzilka.
I hope that your nickname is Zadzilla because
Zadzilla.
you deserve
Yeah,
it.
that's
Go Zadzilla. Playing Abzan. And then Blue Eye Control, Blue Red Gifts, and then Eldrazi Tron finishing out. So again, kind of more of the same. It really feels like nothing like that's really jumping out.
The mono green devotion list.
Yeah, that
That kind of jumped out to me.
that is a deck that shows up every now and again. As being something. There used to be a local player that I used to play it all the time. You played Modern, you're like, I'll probably have to play against him. And I know that Michael Jacobs used to stream with it all the time.
Yeah, this one looks a little bit more. In some ways it's a little bit more refined. In other ways, he's got kind of a tutor package here. It looks like there's a lot of one-ofs.
Yeah,
there are 4 Summoners packs.
Yeah, and you're playing Quarter Calling.
And 1 Quarter Calling, sure.
And you do have
Primal
Eternal
Command,
Witness.
yeah.
So, I'm Primal Command.
These are
So,
things.
yeah. But a lot of this stuff is what you would see in those kind of lists.
Oh, look at sneaky blood moons in the sideboard.
Yeah, I was
look at
gonna
that.
say, blood moons
Sneaky blood moons.
Sneaky blood moons.
I think it's interesting this deck is playing Nissa, voice of Zendikar, because you're just playing a bunch of playing a bunch of little guys, and then you're just like, oh, Nissa, actually now I have a bunch of slightly bigger guys. Acidic slime. All right, yeah. I mean, that's all you got to say. Acidic slime. So.
Acidic slime, Organzolin.
No, I would probably never play this deck. I can't count very well, so it would be my.
You can't read to count. Did you go to school?
No, clearly not.
You must have gone to my alma mater.
I went to public school. Let's be real here.
Kent State is can't read, can't write, Kent State. So that must be where you went.
Oh no, all of our Kent State funding. Oh no, it's all gone. Rats. All right, standard. To finish out the show.
Back to standard.
Back to standard.
To finish out competitive.
Well, yeah.
Sure. Did Michael Seimbor and his baby took it down with Raminette Red.
Yep, ramming up red.
his winner's photo, he's holding a baby. So
Oh, is he?
I think that's a first.
Yeah.
First winner's photo with
That's the first time
with an
that-
infant.
Did he have his plaque with him as well?
You did realize the
Yes.
infant was the winner, right?
Oh,
Yeah, that's just
a youngin.
He was just shuffling for him.
yeah, exactly. Just put him play. I was going to say that the plaque actually transmogrified into a baby. That that happens sometimes. It's very.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So how much are you going to pay us to not run this audio back in front of your wife?
No. He actually. Michael actually defeated Mono Black Zombies in the finals, punted by Gavia win. Yeah, Gavia win. And then there was another red, and then another Mono Black Zombies punted by Emma Handy. So kind of switched off there, back and forth a little bit here in the top four. And then we have another blue white control list. Is this similar to the one that we saw from Minneapolis? I assume.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's actually the exact same list.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, exact same list. So this kind of showing up a little bit higher than Minneapolis. Small tournament, of course, but and then another mono black Eldrazi, and then what? Night Humans. Oh man, this is spicy. This is a spicy tournament.
Yeah, I saw that. I looked at this list. I was like, I don't understand.
Well, you play like humans and their Naya colors.
Well, yeah. I
mean-
see what's happening, but I don't understand.
Man,
I mean, you
you're
get
playing-
like Heron's Grace champion.
yeah, you
That's
play the
pretty
Heron
sweet.
Grace champion, man. That has lifelink on it and flash, and it gives all your other things lifelink, right?
I guess the thing that I mostly don't understand is the 3-color deck and then the 2 handwear battlements, which seems ambitious.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
So-
it's just
sometimes you
the
gotta
greed,
pay
man.
ambition's
You gotta play that
cost.
greed,
Seems ambitious, but I mean, it's a sweet deck.
listen, all I know is that he definitely made some like Eldrazi's.
Maybe.
He definitely formed the Voltron.
Do you know that?
No,
you certain of that?
I have no way of verifying if that's true or not, but I just believe it. I believe in my heart of hearts.
Okay.
He done made some 7/4s that made 3/2s when they attacked. That's something he may have done is attacked with his Handwer Garrison and then flashed in his Heron Grace champion. And that seems
That feels real good.
that seems great. So
Yeah, I think that's just fine. I don't even think you need to give it haste,
right.
But yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, the Standard has surprisingly good mana. I think like people wouldn't have said that. I guess before Amaket, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like people kept saying like the mana was bad, but I think the mana is super good in the format right now.
It's certainly like this mana base is interesting, but
Yeah.
but maybe it's good enough. Obviously, it did well here, so
Yeah. I mean, this is just, I don't know. It just feels like, it definitely feels like an FNM deck, but I mean, that's fine. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm glad that he did well with it so we can see it and talk about it. And, yeah, if you want to play something that's a little bit off the beaten path, if you want to flash in some Heron Grace champions before they disappear, before they rotate out, then, like, more power to you. I encourage it. I hope you don't beat me with it, because then I'll feel salty. But such is life. But I'll kind of be excited, because, like, whatever.
So do we have a different Ryan Dunn that finished 13th in this tournament?
no, they did it both. They same guy.
Same guy.
Both.
He's just top 8ing the Open and also finishing 13th in the Standard.
Yeah. You know how we do.
It's a good weekend for Ryan Duns, I guess.
Yeah, man. I've been thinking about legally changing my name, so just so I can win Magic tournaments. Apparently, that's like one requirement. I guess I was had to be good at the game, but at the very least,
It comes with the name.
Yeah.
you would think. But yeah,
I want to point out, going back to my argument about the blue control list, the blue white control list, obviously did well here. Got 2-0 by Emma Handy playing zombies. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if you're looking at the way the bracket, you're like, oh man, this blue white deck just gets to play against almost all zombies or red decks. It should just no.
yeah.
I know that's one match, but like, if you're going to you're going to play a deck because of what it does against one archetype in the metagame. Like, okay, I beat the aggro decks. You got to beat the aggro decks.
Well, the thing is, like, you're still not going to beat it 100% of the time. You know what I mean? Like, might just be a well-placed transgress the mind
Sure.
that gets you, you know. But, I mean, you just got to play the percentages.
That's always certain. I will say in top 8 matches where you like know your opponent's lists, you should be a little bit better. Because you can...
Do you get the deck list in the classics?
Oh,
I don't think so.
Maybe not in the classics. I don't know. I've not top 8 in the classics.
I think it's only the ones that are
Not
that
since
have
they've
camera
become
matches.
classics.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played in any of them. No, I played one. I played one of the Invitational. Darn it, I ruined it.
I'm sure he knew what Emma Handy was playing.
Well, sure.
But, yeah. And zombie lists they typically aren't varied very much. You know, it's pretty much mostly the same.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And Emma Handy's just a good player, too, so.
Oh, no, yeah, that's for sure. That's an issue. This is one match either way.
Yeah.
But I would just say like there's the kind of thing going to a top 8. Like I would expect like all right, heavily no.
Yeah. And who knows? Like maybe that was tuned to beat mono red, but not necessarily tuned to beat mono black.
I mean, if we're talking about matchups, I mean, if you look at how that top 8 shook out, the winner, Michael Steinborg, had to go through 2 mono black zombies lists.
That's true.
In both the quarterfinals and the finals.
That's true.
Or
Interesting.
the semifinals and the finals. What did he play against?
Well, I mean, he clearly has some magical powers. If he turned a plaque into a baby.
He's holding the plaque and the baby in the
Oh,
picture.
stop! You're ruining it.
All 3 matches, mono black zombies. So,
Fair enough.
that just shows what we know.
I didn't
Apparently,
ruin anything. You could see it in the picture.
But what if you couldn't see the picture because they're just listening to us like while they were driving or something?
So we're just liars now.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But as a joke,
I also have some snake oil. Would you like to buy it?
yes.
It'll cure your
Fantastic.
what ails you.
How much?
I don't know. 17 coins, 3 rings, and 43 rupees.
Perfect.
I don't know what and some amount of G and Gil.
That's some Gil. Oh, perfect. I have all of that. All right. So, before we jump into our kind of fun question of the week, we did want to, of course, give a shout out to BCW Supplies, and there are a couple of fun things going on. They are bringing Team Metagame Gurus out to the Virginia area for Star City Games, Richmond, and you can actually go to Battlegrounds Games in Midlothian, Virginia. I think this is what this place
is that near the fine city of Richmond?
Yeah,
right, Mike?
That will be near Richmond, of course.
No comment.
So you can go out and play the Beta Guru F&M event at again Battlegrounds in Midlothian, Virginia. So there is a link to it off of BCW Supplies. A Facebook page if you want to check out those events if you're going to be in the area for the Open. Another thing that BCW Supplies is doing that is awesome is they are giving away an entire burn deck, which is definitely something that is pretty cool and not often that you get a chance to win an entire deck along with a deck box, some sleeves, some really cool, I think, a playmat as well. And you can actually find out more information about this by visiting, again, BCW Supplies on Facebook. The whole detail information is there. And this is in conjunction with them, going to Gen Con, of course. So, yeah, I mean, and you also get a free 1-hour coaching session with Jim Davis, a member, team captain of Team Metagame Gurus. So, definitely a lot of awesome stuff that you can do to enter. So definitely check out BCW Supplies on Facebook and also check out their website, bcwsupplies.com. All right, question of the show. So I got a good one for you. This is one that was submitted by Dave. And it was
submitted for the approval of the
Midnight Society, correct. Obviously, Magic's been around for quite some time, and we've all been playing for a while, and we've all had to play in some interesting stores and stuff like that to play the game. But our question that we want to pose to each other, as well as our listeners, in all honesty, what's the weirdest place that you've played Magic?
No, I gotta tell you, if you ever watched any old game shows from the 70s, then I think you know where Dave got this question from.
Yeah. I was watching the Game Show Network and felt that little inspiration there.
Yeah, you're watching old reruns of the Newlywed Game. I understand.
But Dave, you asked the question.
Yeah, you
so
have to have a good like. If you had this question pop into your mind, then you must have had a weird place that you played Magic. I mean, I was thinking, and there is one, but it's not really that weird. But it might be weird to people. So like, I have mine. But what's yours?
All right, so I have two. I'll do the fake one because it's kind of more just funny.
Fake one.
I'll do the fake one and the real one. So, okay, so the actual weirdest place I played a game of Magic was on the hood of a car. So, so the story was we were traveling to, I think it was a PTQ. This was at least 15 years ago, probably. This is like when probably even longer than that because this is like when I first started playing. But we traveled to a store in Rhode Island, from Massachusetts there, and we got there an hour early, or an hour earlier than we needed to. So the store actually wasn't even open yet. So we were just kind of hanging out, and then we just decided to play some games on the hood of the car. So, yeah. That was just a one-time thing. Yeah.
That's a pretty weird place to play Magic.
Yeah. But the real answer is after I first moved to Ohio, I played in FNMs at Comic Town, and kind of the old tradition was post FNM. So you can imagine Comic Town had some pretty big FNMs. Usually got over around midnight ish. Sometimes a little after that. Then we used to go out after FNM and go cube draft at TJ's Country Place. So the old local 24-hour restaurant,
very very fine eatery. A Columbus staple, some might say.
Yeah.
If you've ever wanted to bathe in gravy.
Yeah. All the gravy, yeah.
Yeah, that's on the menu. It's the gravy bath.
Yeah. If you do go there, for real, get the gravy on the side. But, yeah, so we used to do the old post FNM cube drafts at TJ's while getting, food at, 1:30, 2 in the morning. And got a lot of weird looks from people because we just had like a full-on cube draft going on in the middle of the restaurant.
How did that make you feel that like at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Friday evening you were the weirdest thing happening at that point in time?
Well, at 2 in the morning it's the weirdest thing. 3 in the morning is when it really got weird because that's when like most of the bars were out and then some other establishments were out.
Sure, yeah.
And you just had some real interesting characters coming in.
And then people just thought that you were at the table summoning the devil.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But honestly, like it honestly it used to get busy from like 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then so there'd be some nights where I didn't get home till like 3:30. I can't do that anymore. I'm not a young man anymore.
Yeah, no, but don't. Yeah. If you're doing that right now, stop.
Yeah. It was fun while it lasted, but I can't do it anymore.
But
anyway, that's the weirdest. Yeah, that's probably the weirdest for me. I felt weird being there.
I will say, I'm sure TJ has actually seen a lot of Magic over its years.
Yeah,
I played a game of Magic there, so I don't know. I was trying to.
I've lived in Columbus all my life. I've never entered that establishment.
I
plan to never enter that.
I'm very happy for you. I wish I. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to go through, thinking about this, and you asked this, and I have a lot of places, but I think these aren't that weird of places. Like backseat of a van, but we were going to a Magic tournament, so that's not that weird. I played at 7 in the morning at a Bob Evans, which is when I literally played at a midnight pre-release, won the box, and then asked my wife if she wanted to meet me at the Bob Evans for breakfast so we could open the box and pack war. And our waitress did think we were summoning the devil, so that was cool. She was like, "So those are really nifty looking. What are those?" And I'm like, "Magic cards. This one's a demon." I hadn't slept, so
I think you were the demon.
Griselbrand.
But I think what I'll go with as actually the weirdest place is that I'm sure a lot of people have played Magic camping, but I played Magic on a picnic table at our camper during what was affectionately called Deer Week. deer camp, if you will, which was myself, my dad, my uncle, my cousin, and my brother all sitting in a camper for a week. The 1 week of the year in Ohio where you can use a shotgun to hunt deer. And we were in full camo and definitely smelled like garbage and had to like set up papers so that the cards wouldn't fly away. But my uncle had played Magic back in we told him what certain cards were worth, and he was like, "But I played for Auntie," and I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "So I lost some of those cards." I was like, "Oh, I was really sorry, bud." So like once like my brother and I got into it, like and it sort of got him back into it. We had a while there for my dad, and my uncle to play with us, like play Magic. And it was kind of like cool, and like he would be like weirded out by some of the new stuff in the game, but like it was still fun. But like we had to like also like literally we're waiting for the weather to shift because it started raining, and as soon as it stopped raining, we're like, all right, game on hold. We need to go back in the truck and go back out into the woods.
Yeah.
So
Anything that involves like playing outdoors or on a picnic table, it's going to be a little difficult.
yeah, pick the table in full camo with like weapons all around me, waiting to go and slay deer. So there you go. And I apologize if you are if you're not a big fan of like hunting. Don't worry, I've actually never killed a deer. So I went many years though. So they won.
Clearly. So the weirdest place that I've played Magic, and in all honesty, this might not be that weird. It's just the weirdest place for me, is during breaks at work. I've
never done that.
I've actually there are people that I work with that they play Magic, and they did so or do so on like more of a casual level or whatever. This is a little while like back. This is before like we all were really like friends and stuff like that. But there was a guy from my work that actually would come to Comic Con from time to time playing F&M, and we on our break we squeezed in a match standard at the time, and it was that is probably the weirdest thing because it's like, well, you know, I'm the kind of person that likes to keep for the most part like my work life separate from like my social life and things like that. I don't necessarily have a lot of crossover friends. I have one technically as a friend who I really, I mean, not even that because like
don't try to put labels on it, man. It's all good.
But like that really cross over between like Magic and work. Anyway, but it was it's definitely weird. But everyone at work knows I play Magic, so I'm not ashamed of it or anything like that. It was just weird to be there like on a break playing it at that point in time. But yeah, it's probably the weirdest place I think that I've sat down and played a match of Magic.
I could add digital weird. In high school, Brian, a friend of mine, you guys know, not you guys, I say you guys to people in the cast. If you guys out there know him, like that's impressive. But
if you know him by first name only.
We played him in like high school, like during lunch and like during like study, which I don't think that's weird. Like I think that's pretty common. But we didn't know about like Magic Online was not a thing that like existed to us. Like it did exist, didn't exist to us. And like Apprentice was something we never really looked at.
Oh yeah.
So we definitely sometimes in the afternoon after school would like play Magic over AOL Instant Messenger.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
before
one.
Skype.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it was before Skype.
Didn't have Skype.
Before anything else. And like we didn't have a good way like you could just like take a picture of it, send it. So like you're just like, this is all trust. It's all trust. And it was still really tilting to lose.
The shuffler.
I'm sure like Skydrafts are probably like something that is fairly interesting, especially like the live Skydraft. If anyone has ever like been fortunate enough to pull that off, not necessarily us, but I'm like flying to Pro Tours and stuff like that. I'm sure someone has done it.
So I haven't done a live Skydraft. I have played live Sky EDH with Aaron Forsyth's deck. So
That's
like
an
his
interesting
actual
one.
physical deck. Yeah. So that was the thing.
How is that a story you've never told us? I don't understand.
I didn't actually meet Aaron Forsyth. It was one of his coworkers at the time.
Gotcha.
And R&D had
his
borrowed his deck. Yeah, and then I played with my buddy who had borrowed another deck that the guy had. So
Interesting.
yeah, we did that on the way back from Japan. Yeah,
That's an interesting
Nice.
little tidbit, little Dave fact.
yeah, that's not the weirdest place I've ever played. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was kind of a fun question of the week. We kind of
is.
tend to be a little bit more on the serious side with those, but yeah. But yeah, out there, listeners, hit us up on
Yeah,
social
please.
media. Yeah, we'd like to hear some stories.
Add us on Twitter. Send us some emails. Find us on Facebook. Let us know where's the weirdest place you played Magic. Please keep in mind, if it's lewd, we probably won't talk about it.
I mean, we could make it like that again. Whoopee. Just saying. That's how they did it. If
We're
it was
making whoopee?
Yeah, if it was safe for TV to say where's the weirdest place you made whoopee, then like we can whatever. We can figure out. We can make up a weird, funny word to disguise anything.
To be fair, when that was on TV, like there was like a PG-13 rating. So I mean, like a lot of stuff was like.
No, now they just say all the words that they want to say. Like true. I don't know what your argument there is.
That's true. Yeah. Have you?
A little thing comes on the TV that says like you shouldn't watch this unless you're 13, and then you watch it and you go, oh. Jeez.
Yeah, have you watched Family Feud?
Wow.
They said a lot of things.
Steve Harvey's a wild man on there these days.
Yeah, compare what Steve Harvey says to Whoopi, and I think we're okay.
I think we're fine.
I don't know if it's what Steve Harvey says or the idiots that play that game, and they're idiots. I'm sorry.
They're fun, though. They're entertaining.
They're fun. Yeah.
Anyway, so what's happening this weekend? Well, we have GP Birmingham, which is in the UK, and
I definitely thought that was Alabama at first.
No,
I was like, oh man, I might be able to go to that one.
No,
not going to
Birmingham proper.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
And GP Sao Paulo, which is obviously in South America. Both are going to be modern, which is fairly exciting. So again, we get some more sweet modern action. Again, Wizards don't mess with modern. Modern's fine. Modern's great. Keep it the way it is. Then we have the Richmond Open, which we alluded to, which is also going to be modern. So no one mess it up for anyone else. No one like just crack the entire format and be like, "Oh, this is abusive."
Maybe we'll find out if Vengevine is real.
Yeah, do it.
And if you've got a place at Vengevines for an affordable price, let me know.
I might know a guy. You might be interested.
I kind of got an itch.
But there's also going to be the some RPTQs for Pro Tour Ixalan,
Puxatawny.
that are going to be happening this weekend in Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, and Chicago. Well, those are the ones that are closest to us, at least. None of us are queued for them because, I don't know, we're slackers, I guess.
I mean, I didn't really try. So.
Yeah, there's kind of a dearth. I played in a PPTQ this weekend and did awful.
Yeah, I played only one PPTQ last season, which was the Comic Town one, which I lost in the finals. So I don't know. Pretty much since early this year, I've sort of slowed down a little bit, but I do think I'll be ramping back up a little bit going into Pro Tour 25 or whatever.
Yeah, obviously. We all will. We all have a task. We all have a job, and the one job is to queue for the RPTQ. Yeah. I understand.
For me, queuing for the next Star City Invitational, that's like what I'm focused on. So I have 10 points already, so I only need 5 points to actually get the queue. So I actually have to find a couple opens to play in. I think I'll be okay. Yeah.
I don't really have any overarching goals at this point in time until we get to the team tournament, the team PT, and doing my part, my small, probably bad part to try and get queued.
Yeah, that's long term goals.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to have the short term goals and the long term goals.
Yeah, but I don't have any short term. I don't want to go to.
Is that like a medium term?
A medium term, I guess. Like I don't want to go. Sorry, Star City Games. I'm not going back to Roanoke. You ain't having my soul. I'm done. No thanks. Been there once. No need to ever go back in my life.
Oh, by the way, that just reminds me. That's one thing that I forgot to put in the community segment was that they took away the Pro Tour invite for Star City.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that next week. But
yeah, that was. I think we wanted to see how far-reaching that is. Obviously, Star City was the only one using them currently, but we do know some other areas that we're trying to get to them, including. Comic Town. So I think we wanted to see if we heard any more information on that. But yeah, that is at least something we need to discuss.
Yeah, I think it's something that it was awkward because it was something that they couldn't give to one of the premier tournament organizers in Europe. There was something about that. So I think that since they couldn't do that, they kind of just decided to take it all away.
It is definitely awkward since they have. Obviously this has been advertised from Star City for a long time in advance. So, but Wizards has a history of that. So
making snap decisions seemingly out of the blue. So, but whatever. What are you going to do? Nothing else changed with the payouts for Star City Games, and they're still pretty good for winning the Invitational. So
it's not going to deter me from trying to
exactly.
go to the Invitationals anyway.
I don't think it would deter most. So I think everyone will still be trying to get to that just fine, except for me. because I don't like Roanoke. Except for that Cuban place. That Cuban place had great food, and I hope that it remains an establishment there forever because it was fantastic. Kudos
You
to
didn't like the Whiskey House or whatever that place was?
that place was fine.
That place is great.
Yeah, it was
You know
pretty
what?
good.
We've done a lot of hating on places in Virginia, and I'm sorry about that. The food places that we ate at in Roanoke, for the most part, were pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I'd have to say that they were pretty good. So you know how to make food.
and I
guess.
definitely enjoyed our B&B as well.
It was fun.
And Dave made breakfast for us. It was great.
You didn't sleep in a bunk bed, so
No, I did sleep on a couch twice.
yeah.
I slept in a little kid bed. So
That's also
I don't
true.
know. It's just like-
Dave slept in an actual shot-for-shot remake of his daughter's bedroom.
Airbnbs are weird, guys.
that made it extra weird.
Don't know.
He
don't-
FaceTimed her and was like, "Look, it's your bedroom," and she was like, "That's weird."
Dad, what are you doing?
Stop it.
We need to reevaluate your life.
Dad, we need to talk about boundaries.
Boundary.
But yeah, Airbnbs, they're weird. They're crazy. It's a gamble. Magic players love a good love a good gambit. And
At least it wasn't.
That's what
Hey.
Airbnb is. The ultimate gambit.
It wasn't the worst one we've been.
Oh no, the worst one I've never been into because we drove away and I drove 3 hours home.
Yeah, that was funny.
was the worst one.
Somehow that one was worse than the Murder House one.
Yep, certainly was.
The Murder House one was actually okay. And now, granted,
Yeah.
I know that Dave almost fell off the futon, but
Yeah,
like,
that Dave did draw the short straw.
What is it with me? I always get the small things where like my legs hang off the side of the edge of the bed.
I
Get the
don't
real bed next time.
I don't like in that bunk bed. I didn't fit. That's not built for a man of my tallness. So I don't like. I wasn't like sleeping like a king. I don't know what to tell you. But that's everything for us this week. Again, reach out to us with your answers to the weirdest place that you've played Magic. Maybe it's a weird Airbnb. Who knows? And you can get in contact with us on Twitter. If you do a search for Your End Step, we come up, and then when you add us, it'll be at Your End Step. We also have an email address. It's at yourendstep@gmail.com, and a Facebook. Do a quick search for at Your End Step on there, and we pop right up. Also, look up our sponsors, BCW Supplies and Comic Town Gaming Center. And then we do have a website, of course. It's at yourendstep.com. And we thank you for downloading and listening to the show. If you are listening to us on a Apple device or via iTunes, feel free to leave us a review on there. Also, if you're listening to us via MTG Cast, be sure to check out some of the other great shows that they have on there. Really, everything that your Magic heart could desire, they have. So definitely check it out. That's pretty much everything for this week, and we will catch you guys next time. And you have a great one. Bye.